So making a video on updates on my education about college classes I'm taking and kind of what's kind of going on right now at the moment. And I'm just trying to get onto my laptop so I can better explain about what's going on. Okay, so what's going on right now, this is the class. I enrolled into patient care technician class. The patient care technician class, there's two separate classes. There's a patient care assistant, there's a patient care technician. The patient care assistant does not learn phlebotomy or EKG, but they learn the skills to work in a hospital, very much like a CNA. But the CNA, I think, is just a little bit more above the patient care technician assistant. I have a CNA license. And I now, since I've already completed a CNA, now I have to take a patient care technician class because it'll make me more versatile in many different departments and understand, and then I can, the different floors, the CNA, the nursing home, all this great stuff, right? And the hospital setting is very different than the nursing homes. And this is the paperwork that I had that I turned in. It's the application and whatnot. As you can see right here, patient care technician. I have it here somewhere. I don't know exactly where. But yeah, here we go. See, patient care technician. So I enrolled into this class, and I talked to the coordinator, and they enrolled me in the correct class, which is the full stackable. They call them stackables because I guess they have all this other stuff that you have to learn. This August 25th, I start class at Mountain View College, 5 days a week for 6 weeks. I'll be going to be learning phlebotomy. When that is over with, August 25th, when that starts, it ends to September 28th. And that's from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. 5 days a week. Remember that. Okay, and then I'm going to be taking for 5 weeks at Richland College, 4 days a week. It's an EKG class. And that is going to be from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. 2 days will be on campus, 2 days will be online on my laptop. And then after that is complete, that will ultimately start October. The EKG class is October 5th to November 5th. So that's just about 5 weeks. I've already spent $231 on my books, and that's a lot of money for me. And I have now waiting for my books to arrive. My books are supposed to arrive sometime either tomorrow or the next day. It's supposed to arrive today, but it didn't. So it's supposed to arrive tomorrow or the next day. So my phlebotomy class is just going to be focused on drawing blood, the infections, and all that great stuff, all this stuff that goes into drawing blood. The EKG is to check for the heart functions and electrical signals and any dysfunctions that may be going on. I'm not going to be giving diagnoses to any of that. All I do is give a reading and perform an EKG, and they'll train me to do that for 5 weeks. And then the doctor and the nurses give their diagnosis. So my job is just to do that part. And that's what I'm going to be doing. When that is complete, when that is over with, November 5th, within a week or two, there's supposed to be another class, but it hasn't been created yet on Richland College. But they're going to be enrolling me into that, the program coordinator. And then that is going to be a patient care technician class, which is supposed to be somewhere like, I think, 3 or 4 weeks only. And it's somewhere around like the first week of December-ish is supposed to be when it's completed. So right before the holidays is when my classes will be completed. And I'm really excited about that. It gives something to myself for Christmas, an education Christmas present. And I'm really looking forward toward it. Sorry, my bag's itching right now. So that's kind of what's going on right now, and I bought the phlebotomy book, which is three books. It's a workbook, exam book, and it is a study book material. And so then I have the EKG, which is one book. The patient care technician, I don't know what book I have to buy. They won't tell me until it's finally listed. I bought this on my own. I bought this on Amazon. It's a really great book. It's really far ahead of time. I'm ahead of myself. So this is a patient care technician book. And what this does, it gives an answer sheet at the back, and it has all these multiple choice questions, and then it gives me 2 exams at the end of this book, so I can kind of prepare for the patient care technician exam part of it. Now, to my understanding, the patient care technician class exam is somewhere around 100 to 200 questions with 2 hours. And I won't complete that until the entire class session is over. And then the exam, I think is like $200. It's like $200. It's like $150, $200. So you get 3 chances. First time you fail, you have to wait 30 days. Take another chance, you fail again, you have to wait 1 year. So I'm going to have to be really feel confident to know that I can pass this test. And that's kind of what's going to be going on. And so yesterday I just completed this book. So what I did on this book right here, it's very straightforward. Like it's a study guide, and it's a really good. It's a little bit different. It's not the book they're requiring, but it's a study guide, so you kind of understand sort of. So it makes it easier to pass a test. So it's real informative, and it's set up for studying. So I think this will be this is going to be really great for me. I'm really looking toward it. I've already gone through so much of this, and it's very much like a CNA test. It's a little bit mixed up different, but it's very much like a CNA test. But this is only the basics of phlebotomy and EKG questioning of testing here. To my understanding, there is a separate phlebotomy, I think, exam, possibly, and a separate EKG exam, or some sort of module testing. I would assume, because EKG is 5 weeks, phlebotomy is 6 weeks. If you're just going to be learning about drawing blood for 6 weeks, for 5 days a week, for 4 hours a day from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., I would imagine that is a lot of material just to be doing that. And then you're going to have EKGs, for 4 days a week for 5 days. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be what the test is, or I mean, at least probably after those. But I'm not sure how that works. They may not be an exam, and it may just be with a patient care technician exams. To my understanding, it's supposed to be overall EKG and phlebotomy as well. But I don't know. That's how the patient care technician exam is supposed to be. But I don't know if they do separate tests as well. Like for when phlebotomy is over, do an exam, EKG do an exam, and then when I finish the patient care technician and take the patient care technician exam, it'll be over all 3 subjects. I don't think the patient care technician either has any clinicals, which is unusual, which is kind of weird to me, to my understanding. I don't think any of them had any clinicals, to my understanding. There might be, I'm pretty sure there probably is, but I haven't gotten any information exactly the details of how that class is. But I'm really excited. I still have this book, my CNA book, or this workbook, and this is going to be taking me a long time. I'm literally going 1 word at a time, literally getting this all written out really well. There's no cheat sheet on this either, so I'm going through all this so that I can kind of review over the CNA. I'm still going to need this book because when you go over the licensed vocational nurse exam test of all the stuff, it's great that I'll have this so I can do a quick overlook over everything, very skim through this very quickly. I'm excited. I'm going to be able to work in a hospital if I pass. I'm praying to God that I can pass this test and focus and allow that God allows me a path to complete this, because there is a long road ahead of me that is going to be to get a licensed vocational nurse. That is a 12 to 18 month program. That's like full time. I'm on the slow end of students, so I'm going to be like an 18-month student, not probably a 12-month, but it takes 12 to 18 months, and that's okay. But I've gotten that taken care of. I had to pay for my own bus passes the first time. So hopefully this time now I'm going to be able to have my DART student pass like I was supposed to. I wasn't allowed to get a DART bus school pass, and they didn't give me a school pass. So then therefore I ended up, I ended up having to pay, my bus trips the entire time. From here to my location, you can look at my albums area and in my Instagram, but you can, on my Facebook, if you look in the albums area, I have the distance it is from here to Mountain View College. I'm going to be booking paratransit when I get there, whenever I can go link, but I had to sort that all out. I need that bus pass first. But it's a very long trip. Most likely I'm going to have to pay for the bus trip just like I did for the CNA class, because the Go Link doesn't going to be able to take me to those distances. It's going to take me too long. I need to be at school, to be ready to focus, clear-headed, focused, and ready to learn and to pass this exams and tests, because this is going to be very challenging to me. I feel confident right now just by I've already studied and did a quick skim through the patient care technician book, that I can pass this. Obviously, I'm going to have to study for it, but the phlebotomy is in the EKG. I'm totally pretty clueless to that kind of stuff. Good thing is I had a transplant, so I'm a little familiar with it, because I had a bone marrow transplant. I had a blood disease called aplastic anemia and had a bone marrow transplant. And chemotherapy and steroids and cyclosporin and all these kinds of medications, blood rejection organ rejection medications. I'm praying that from here until then I can pass, because I do not plan to go into a licensed vocational nurse program probably to mid 2027 to late 2027. The reason is because once I finish this patient care technician class and it's all completed and I have my patient care technician certificate with my CNA, I'm going to go start working. So I'm going to have at least several months to work in a nursing home, several months to work in hospitals, a few different hospitals, and by that should give me about 6 to 7 months of work time. So it may be summer, but I have to figure out a lot of other circumstances. Then have later, probably in the summer next year, I'm going to have to study for the TSI, or I may be able to find an institute to give me a